What's going on, guys? We're going to get started in just 1 second. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? How are y'all doing on this lovely Tuesday afternoon? This is Z-Rex with Noiz Research coming at ya August 7th, 2018. I'm sure all of y'all are freaking out. Keep the windows latched on your office buildings. Do not think about it, okay? It's not worth it. All kidding aside, I know y'all are watching these markets. That crazy little plunge was definitely indeed a result of the SEC announcement. I'm assuming. I usually don't like to put news to sell-offs, but sometimes it is appropriate, and this probably is one of those times. If y'all go over here, we'll check this out. Go over here with me. They delayed the Van X, so they're just delaying all of them. It's not a shocker. We've talked about this before. They want to have the most time, and they also want to excuse me. They want to have the most time to make their decision, and they always like to keep people on the edge of their seats as well. Good old SEC, keeping us safe out there from those sharks. Financial sharks, that is. Not the ones that you see on your favorite TV show. Oh, right. I'm going to just wait for a second to see if my internet will get a little bit better. A couple minutes ago, I am getting some notifications of dropped frames. So, let's see if that can pick up. Get a little bit better. It does seem to be stabilizing, so that is a good sign. So back to the SEC and the price action today. It has been swift, so they are pushing it back to the 30th as the date by which the commission shall either approve or disapprove. Do note that it says as the date by which. It doesn't say the date. It doesn't say designate September 30th as the date which the commission shall either approve or disapprove. By which. Super important word. We've talked about this in other ones. They're just giving themselves pretty much free reign to announce and do whatever they want when they want. So, man, can y'all imagine if they just randomly announced, oh, the ETF got approved, like, next Thursday. I'm just making up a day. That would be pretty wild. It's funny that everybody is pointing to that, even though, as we've discussed, when there's new news about NYSE and physically delivered Bitcoins and things that help support ETF decisions, it's not an ETF, bro. Get it out of here. We're done with that. We are done with that. So, whatever. That's kind of silly, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Let's go to the next article here. There's nothing really else to talk about in here. They just kind of rehash all the stuff that we already know. And of course, we have our SEC friend. Don't forget her, Hester Pierce. She is trying to influence, is what her word choice was, influence her colleagues. All right, hopefully she can get that going, because that would be lovely. Alrighty, let's go to the next news article. Uber's biggest shareholder backs 15 billion Bitcoin giant, the Bitmain. We talked about Bitmain a little bit coming to Texas yesterday. I think that's great news. It's awesome. Go Texas, right? And not the football team. I don't really care about that. I know I am from Texas and live here, and I don't care about football. Y'all probably think that's crazy. I used to like it a lot, but college is still cool. But the NFL just got way too political and PC for me. It was just kind of like, dude, it's the NFL, it's sports. We're not supposed to have that as the platform to preach all your feelings and stuff. Just go out there and play the game. We can forget about the rat race and have some fun, right? Not no more. That's okay, though. Back to some crypto. So, Bitmain completed the pre-IPO raise on Saturday in a round of financing that notably includes Chinese technology conglomerate Tencent with a market cap that rivals that of Facebook, and Japan's SoftBank, a tech giant heavily invested in a number of tech ventures globally, including its standing as Uber's largest shareholder. Yeah, SoftBank is in a lot of stuff. They're beast mode. Pretty much think of them in the top tier of banking over here. I'm not sure whatever that means. We'll just go by size, not credibility. So, the backing follows Bitmain's robust revenues this year, raking in 1.1 billion just in Q1 of this year, guys. If you don't know what Q1, that is quarter one, the first quarter of this year. So that will be January, February, and March, those months of data. Let's compare that to mainstream hardware giant Nvidia that set a record net Q1, a reported net, not record, right here I'm reading, reported net Q1 income of 1.2. What? Think about that. Nvidia's been around for a long time. They created the GPU, right? In the 90s. And Bitmain's been around for, what, a handful of years, maybe? Like 2013, I believe. Yeah, so they're already rivaling profitability, and this is income, guys, on a tech company that's been around for decades. Pretty amazing if you think about it. And very awesome. Love it. I like it a lot. So, yeah, 15 billion. That's a 16.5% increase of its overall valuation in less than 45 days, guys. People are loving the Bitmain. As I talked about earlier in the stream, or yesterday's stream, you know, Bitmain is supporting the Bitcoin network, so love them or hate them, they are a necessary evil at this point. Now that can change and probably will change in the future. You got Samsung, Sony, a lot of the other big guys talking about getting into crypto, specifically like Bitcoin mining and ASICs. So that'll be interesting. Remember, this space is still very, very nascent, ladies and gents. So as I mentioned earlier about the facility here in Texas, one I did not know about. This article just mentioned, I have it highlighted here in the green. Bitmain has also established a new base. That is not great English right there. We'll just say they have established a new base in a 20,000 square foot office in Silicon Valley and tripling its employee count at a development center in Israel. So they're a little bit of everywhere. Okay. So, no, Bitmain is the main at the moment. So, it's the main squeeze. So, yeah, there you go. Just wanted to mention that. Pretty good stuff. Ukraine election officials launches voting trial using NEM's blockchain. If you don't know NEM, that is New Economy Movement, or XEM is the ticker in most platforms. They've been around for a while, since 2014. They were one of the first altcoins. And they built their own chain and everything too, so that's pretty cool. I just wanted to bring this up because it's interesting. Another country outside of the United States is using NEM. As I mentioned before, the Petro in Venezuela that goes live later this month is also built on NEM. Is there some value on NEM that we don't really know about? Possibly. I'm not really sure yet. But it definitely could be a hidden gem or sleeping giant or whatever kind of analogy you want to use for that. So back in July, they encouraged the guy that started this, the election, Central Election Commission. So the guy that's working on it, I'm not even going to try it. Actually, I'm going to try to say it because why not? Alexander Stelmach. So Stelmach encouraged his friends on Facebook to participate in a test vote that had been created in partnership with a local NEM Foundation group. So that's pretty cool. Voting on the blockchain. We need to see more of this instead of all this BS voting systems, especially in the States. If y'all are aware of all of the proprietary code in the company that runs like all of the voting machines, it's pretty crazy. So, also wrote, based on these results, it would cost about $1,200 to place a node which can be used to vote in each police station, which is pretty damn cheap, guys. Think about those machines that if you've ever voted here in the States, you go use those little wheel machines, you definitely know that those cost more than $1,200. So that is extremely reasonable. And on some more using the blockchain for voting news. Oh, that's not the right one. West Virginia is trying, West Virginia at all places, is trying to offer overseas residents blockchain voting option for these midterms coming up. And of course, they're probably trying to mainly target troops and people that are currently abroad. So, employees, votes, it's kind of a weird name. It's like the coolest thing now. It's just to spell something different and totally wrong. Or acronymize it. I don't know if that's a word. But there you go. Employees, facial recognition software to ensure that each voter matches their government-issued identification. And this is out of CNN. And that was, what do you see? Like, they're going to do it. Man, wow, yeah. So they just reported this yesterday. Mac Warner, which is the Secretary of State over in West Virginia, and the votes, sorry, it's kind of just such a weird way to spell that. The Boston-based app developer, which is building that to vote on there, says they can believe that the app is secure after successful tests in 2 counties for the state's spring primary elections. Let's actually click on that and see where they tested. Probably in their local area. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. I remember seeing this actually a little while ago. So awesome. So that is still growing and developing. Way to go, votes. Very, very nice. All right. So, on that note, let's go down a little bit more. So you have some good people working in there. They're from large groups, Carlyle Group and Goldman Sachs. So, yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. I actually been pounding the table about this for voting for a long time. Like, why can't, like, everyone would pretty much vote if it was an app, you know? You just, like, download an app and boom, boom, and you can just click yes, no for each of the candidates, local elections, national elections, across the board. It's, like I said, it's definitely... Oh, this isn't even the right article. Why did it go to this? That's weird. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go back to where we was. Alright, we're back. Just wanted me to read that other article, I guess. So, the chief technologist at the Center for Democracy and Technology, though, his name is Joseph Lorenzo. Hall, he told CNN that mobile voting is a horrific idea. What? Like, what is wrong with this guy? I wish there was a link to the interview or whatever whenever he said this, because that is just absolute insanity, guys. Mobile voting is a horrific idea. Yeah, why? Then you can't control it as much? Or, and this is the guy coming from the center of democracy and technology. How much is he getting paid by those voting companies? Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, I'm just thinking about how crazy that is to say that. And he's the election integrity watchdog. He's part of the election integrity watchdog group, Verified Voting. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, he's not. Marion K. Schneider. Adding that mobile voting could create, quote, far more opportunities for hacking and meddling. Are they serious? Like, these guys, what are they smoking, man? Like, all of the elections with the current systems that we've had and with the new electronic proprietary code ones, they've been hacked and compromised and stuff. So why is that any different than trying it on your phone? And if they're hiring guys like Joseph Lorenzo Hall as a center for democracy and technology, and he says that mobile voting is a horrific idea when it's the safest way to verify your identity, and you can do it even in real time with like a selfie while, like, you've probably been at Target before, and when you're paying at the self-pay, they have the little camera thing. It's like looking right at you. We could just do something exactly like that with your phone. You look at it, and there's like a little window in the picture, like your favorite YouTuber in the background. You click yes or no. It's super simple. Y'all have to ask yourselves, why don't they want this, and why is it really a horrific idea? Do they really want that much control over the voting system? I would argue they do. I know a lot of y'all probably think voting is stupid, but don't jump on that train. Okay? That's not the right train to be on. Usually when you're on the train that everybody else is on, it's not the right one. Spoiler alert. So, food for thought. I could go on a big rant on that one, but I'm not going to. We're going to move on to the DEA, talking about the Bitcoin. So they did apparently a 10-person cyber investigation here. They call it the SITF, Cyber Investigation Task Force. And so for the last little while, they've been checking out and doing analysis on blockchain data and trying to see if drug dealers really dominate this murky world of crypto. What's only used on the dark web. That's it, apparently. And so, damn it. Sorry, just getting some more drop frames. I hope it's not getting too bad. Maybe we'll make this one faster. That's a little bit hard for me, though, as I'm sure y'all know. But anyway, Bitcoin pop-up popped up in her cases in the first 5 years ago. So she's been kind of seeing it across her desk for a while. And her analysis of blockchain data showed criminal activity was behind about 90% of transactions in cryptocurrency. Now, that was a while ago when they did that study. She says now, though, in a recent study, the activity has shrunk to about 10%, and speculation has become the dominant driver. I think that's pretty clear now. It's gotten a lot more legs and a stronger foundation, and it's not just synonymous with the Silk Road and illegal things that you can buy on the dark web, or a lot of people will bring up child pornography and stuff into this, which, you know, the sad part of all these things is really it's gonna happen, and you can't really do that much about it. Most people don't do those bad things, guys. Like, what about the US dollar? It's used for all of those things. It's the most used currency on the black market. So You don't see them saying, well, we better not use the dollar anymore. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, the majority, she says again down here, the majority of the transactions are used for price speculation. That's interesting that they're using that term, too. It's not... So they must have some pretty awesome data and some analytics on this, that they're mostly seeing people probably jump in and transactions happen after last year, after that huge run-up in price, which makes total sense. So, yeah, I would like to be able to read this whole detailed report, but it's not linked to here in the... Yeah, I did not find it anywhere. I'll try to find that later and post it in the description of this video if I can tackle it. So, this is interesting. We're going to keep going. She talks about some other things. She talks about the dark web, where illegal goods are sold. It's exclusively, pretty much, in crypto, and it's been the case for years. She said, so that's not any news. She's almost saying, like, whatever, that's already happening. Whatever, don't care, really. What's become the growing trend, though, in the past year is criminal organizations like drug cartels are increasingly using digital currencies across their operations. For all kinds of reasons, right? Money laundering, cross-border transfers, blah, blah, blah. Instead of going through the banking system. Yeah, it's funny that she's, like, admitting that. They do go through the banking system, guys. HSBC has been busted numerous times for laundering drug money. So, again... What is this? Calling the kettle black. You know what I'm saying? So, she says it's a double-edged sword for criminals, though, as law enforcement is using blockchain tech to its advantage. Bitcoin and other blockchains are public and immutable, providing a valuable resource for agents to track transactions and patterns. And while the wallet addresses once obscure users' identities, she says, not anymore. She's probably right. I've been talking about this since I've been in the crypto space. It was really silly to me that I've never bought the idea of anonymous transactions, especially in Bitcoin. I think that's a joke. It's just really funny because think about it. You're like, oh, let me download this cool wallet from the Google Play Store app. And then you're on your phone too, by the way, which has a lot of data about you, more data than probably anything. And so you're like, oh, I'm going to download this cool app. Oh, let's sign up with my phone number. Oh, send me a verification code to my text message on my phone to log in to this wallet. And I mean, like, really, there's no one connecting? Like, wait, what about that huge problem of accessing this on your super phone that has every piece of data about you that you don't want, you know? So I don't know, it's just kind of silly, but it was just a selling point so everyone could run around and be like, oh yeah, it's anonymous, dude, that's why you gotta get into it. So she also says something like this about privacy-focused cryptos. And she says, quote, we still have ways of tracking them. And she's referencing Monero and Zcash. So, dang, what? But she's right, guys. Think about it. Blockchains are public and immutable. With enough data and analytics, you will be able to go through a lot of that and see many, many things. So, just food for thought. Hopefully, we get some things built. I know there's tumblers and other things. Satoshi also mentioned you need to use like a different address every time you send something, because that just kind of washes and dirties the pool, so to speak. So, not sure how that, if that really works that great, but it sounds pretty logical to me. You know, if you use every transaction, use a different address, it's going to be a lot harder and a lot more work to connect all of those addresses, right? But eventually, it probably won't matter. And then this is what she says at the end, which I found pretty wild. The blockchain, she says, quote, the blockchain actually gives us a lot of tools to be able to identify people. I actually want them to keep using them. Ha! Did y'all hear that? I'll say it again. The blockchain actually gives us a lot of tools to be able to identify people. I actually want them to keep using them. I want them, drug dealers, illegal peoples, to keep using cryptocurrencies. Okay? This is the DEA. y'all. Think about that. That's some very heavy food for thought, is what I would call that. I think that's pretty wild. She's admitting, like, yeah, come on, let's go, bring it on, bitches. Put all your info on there. We don't even care. Pretend that you're anonymous while we keep doing research this whole time and figure out who all you guys are, or most of them, right? Just like anyway, and like online and other, there is ways to be secure, but most people aren't going to do that because that takes too much work. I don't want to do any work. It needs to be done for me. Right, guys? But that is super interesting. Wanted to point that out. All right, let's go to the markets. Bam. Oh, gosh, look at all this red back on the screen, except for Ethereum Classic. But, of course, as we've been talking about, Ethereum Classic was all due to go on Coinbase, I believe, tomorrow on the 8th. And so you are just having a regular pump into the news event here, and it is dumping pretty hard. Of course, no crap. It's classic, guys. We talked about it yesterday. You can go check out that video if you want to hear my details and opinions on that. I won't double bore y'all here and be redundant. So, some of my friends are like, yeah, right. So, let's see here. Any relative strength coins besides that? Oh, Tether. US dollar. BitShares is okay. It's only down 5%. It's been hovering around 15 cents for a while, so that's pretty impressive. But everything else is getting pretty beat up today in the last 24 hours. Most stuff is down at least 5%. So I do think that it's interesting that a lot of altcoins actually didn't sell off super hard with Bitcoin. One that did, though, and we'll go look at it right now, is Ripple. Ripple is getting scurry. It's getting real scurry. Oh, look at that, guys. And look at that volume, too. That's just death volume right there. That is a lot of sellers. Be careful on that. We've been talking about it. It's been hovering at 40 cents for a while. If we talked about breaking the high 30s, it's likely to drop to the 20s. So just be aware of that. Be diligent. This is lots of volume, though. This could be capitulation for sure. So I do not have a position in Ripple anymore. You can always buy back in, ladies and gentlemen, and preserve that capital, baby. Because if you don't, then how you gonna trade later? All right, so there it is on the daily, breaking this trend line with some force. And oh, ladies and gentlemen, on this podcast show, it's actually not a podcast, it's actually live, so, and with video. But in 7 minutes, the daily candle closes on Bitcoin, and we're about to go to the Bitcoin chart, so that should be good timing there. Yeah, so Ripple, ouch, there you go. It happened. It broke. Oh, man. What was Stellar actually has been holding up fairly well. Sorry, I just hit the mic right there. That was kind of loud. Stellar has been holding up fairly well. Let's go over to it real quick. And then we'll get into the Bitcoin. You know, considering, right, what the market just did today. And again, that was likely from that stupid news that we kind of already knew. Yeah, I mean, Stellar, you're like, what, dude? It sold off from 30 cents to like 22. Man, that's a lot. Well, I'm talking about just like today, though. I'm not talking about this whole time. So, took a nice little dump, but not that much. Just a wee penny there. A wee penny and a half or so. Not too shabby. It's weird, guys. A lot of the indicators are still making divergence. This is like, it's like they're just trying to slow bleed everybody out. And then when the bulls come back in, they are going to like rip face, but the timing is going to be really difficult to nail. Because, I mean, just look at this 4-hour chart in XLM, you know, you have like some divergence, a little bit here to here, and then not really, and then this big dump. And you're like, damn, it's just gonna probably keep going. And then all of a sudden, this big engulfing candle comes in, and it was just like, no, nah, bitch, we're gonna double real quick. And it did, and that was recent. That was July, guys. You know, that wasn't back in March or April or last year when everything went up 5,000 billion%. So yeah, a little relative strength there, but we are at some critical support, and we got back into the cloud here. So do be aware of that. Just be careful. It does look like this is about a 6182, just like Bitcoin's probably. It's a little below it, just like we are in Bitcoin, so it makes sense. All right, speaking of the Kang, let's go over to it. Let's look at it on the hour. Geez, see that, guys? I was like checking out some stuff at close at market today, and doing some in traditional markets. They close at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. So I was just like kind of cleaning some stuff up, doing some things. Had to call Interactive Brokers to change some stuff in my account, so that took way longer than I wanted. That took like an hour and a half. God, that's just like, what the hell? But anyway, guys, yeah, like, isn't that pretty wild? I like got on the phone, like, it was right here around 2:30, and then I like got off the phone. It's like an hour and a half later, and I was like, what? We were in the middle of this big one. I was like, what the hell? The hell just happened? Like, that's crazy. It was looking good today. Nope. One thing to notice here on this 30-minute, though, is this volume, after that initial drop, has just gone sideways for the last, you know, couple and a half hours. This is when that news launched to earlier today about, here you go, the SEC. Oh, crap. Delaying. Shocker. It's like the 18th time they've done it. And if you look at this, the price had not reacted yet at the time of when they published, which was, this is one of the earlier articles I could find on the subject. They said it was around 70.60. So that's pretty, you know, that's up in here. And then all of a sudden it was like, right when they printed, the market hasn't reacted yet until we print this. Oh, shit. So this happened the exact last time over here, guys, when I did the video called "Did the SEC just splash cold water on this rally?" Here you go, right there. It almost looks exactly the same, too, as far as the structure of that sell-off. So it also looks very similar to here. So it's just kind of just doing this little dump pattern. Dump, flag, dump, flag, dump, flag, long flag, dump. Maybe we'll do the same thing. We're going to the stairway to hell, I guess, for Bitcoin. One thing that I do think that is important, let's go up onto the daily here. Take off some of that, clean up, make the chart bigger. Sorry, I'm forgetting that. We are back in this green box of the super support. This is where the bulls must defend. This is where the bears must defend. We've had these boxes up for a while. We just cleaned this range out, guys. Just murder fest. Okay. I mean, don't forget, guys, like, we had that pump 716 to 724.25. Good, right? About 10 days. And now we just did the exact opposite. We're just like, no, man, can't have any of that party. We're done. We're done, bro. We're done. And we literally just gave it all back up in about the same amount of time. It's like a perfect, it's just like a perfect little pyramid here. Boop. Look at that. It's almost like symmetrical too. So let's go to, as we were talking about on the sequentials and stuff, right? Yesterday, here you go. It is on the 9th candle. So look at that. And like we were talking about too, when does this print? It looks like it's about to print here any second. Yep, literally any second. Actually, if we go to here on the hour, oh, there it is. It just printed as I'm saying that sentence. So there we go, guys. We got the daily. right below 6,800. Ouch. Yep, that just happened. So, adjust your positions as necessary. Do what you will. Let's see if this will be the actual 9 and kind of just chills around here. If it just even posts up around the half bottom of this candle, it's going to be considered as a 9. And so, yeah, that's interesting timing. I'm not a huge sequential guy, but look at this. In the last time it went up, you know, you had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You had the blue dot as the support making. And then you had the 9 with the arrow on it as well. Okay. So, it's saying, well, a full cycle has definitely completed. And so now, let's see if it will do the exact same thing on the other side. Kind of looks like it will. Let's look at some internals. See if we can... Oh, we don't want to do that. I'm not trying to put little pink dots everywhere. So, yeah, we broke down to this channel. We are right at the 618, which y'all know is, as we've been talking about it, a lot of people have, is about the 6,800 area. I just round it. So, dudes, it's like right here in this consolidation. It did technically break it, but as I even discussed yesterday, it does break it a lot and kind of hover right around it, and especially with all this consolidation right here. No, I'm not saying you should just hold everything. Plus, don't listen to me anyway. No financial advice is given. This is just my opinions and for educational purposes. But so, and we actually talked about this too in a couple of videos ago, or maybe 3. If the best case scenario for bulls is get some capitulation on this, go to the bottom of the channel and do it fast. And that's exactly what happened. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to play out. Like, no one knows that. No one knows that. But again, we are getting divergences on most of the indicators across the board. And so, even like on everything that I use, I'm getting divergences. So, and I was listening to somebody earlier this morning, and they were talking kind of the same thing. It's just like, what? It's kind of getting confusing, but it's also getting to the point where you're like, I'm getting sick of this losing money thing, man. Like, it's going into like a local capitulation. I don't know if that's a thing, but it should be. Local capitulation is what I'm going to call that. Maybe not trend capitulation for the whole thing, but definitely local. And if you see on the daily too, that one that just closed, the bears are just right above here on that mid-20s level. So they're trying to command Zapowa, but it's with that 9, the sequential 9. All right, let's say that the bears do have control. It's likely that they are a little exhausted right now getting into all this support, and so reverse fib measurement from the top of here to the bottom over here. And I just put it to the side a little bit so it's easier. You can do it right on the anchor points if you want. But so run back up to about 7,800. Between like 75 and 78 would be pretty likely, even just to get some more energy to the downside if we're going to do that. And we could even go sideways. What would be real ugly though, guys, if we go sideways right here and climb up to that number I just told you, but we stay on the bottom side of this trend that whole time. If you're a bear, it's going to be mucho bueno for you. You're going to really want to see that. That means awesome. If you don't know, or really good, right? Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I'm going to have to just go ahead and kind of wrap this one up short. I just looked at, I'm getting drop frames like all the time here. Sorry about that. So let's just go real fast. Ethereum, Litecoin, a couple of the big ones, and then we'll be done. Ethereum just got monkey hammered. It really, really did. I think it took it more on the chin than Bitcoin did. Yeah, about 11%. Woo! Woo! Hello. We almost went all the way to that 350 level that we've been talking about on the boring Ethereum chart. Now it's not so boring anymore, is it? Woo! It's not really what you wanted to see, though. Is it? No. No, unless you're short, then you're really, really excited right now. You are having a fabulous day if you're short. No, I was not short in this move. yes, I should have been a little bit short. For sure. All traders let emotion get the best of them sometimes and occasionally. Even the best, you just have to do that way less than the opposite, right? And that's okay. You gotta just learn from that and move on. But yeah, here we go. We are coming right here to this zone. Oh man, this is really interesting, guys. This is pushing everybody right to the edge. I know it is for me wanting to close out some stuff. I did close out actually on some of my altcoins on my paper account just to, you know, just to kind of take some risk off the table, because you never know. You know, they weren't really in the money, in profits that much. Some of them were just slightly losses because I had some good entries, but now it's going against me and I got to cut it. It's done. Price is telling me, like, dude, there's a good chance that you're about to get kicked in the balls if you hold on to this. But bro, all you got to do is hodl, though, right? I'm just hodling all the way, man. Bitcoin for life. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my stomach, like Bitcoin life, kind of like Tupac. What do y'all think? That'd be cool. But yeah, it's never gonna go down. It's only up. I'm gonna hodl forever. I believe in the tech. Well, yeah. Sorry, as someone that has hodled before that term was a thing, a stock or penny stock before, I rode that bitch all the way to where you can't even sell it in the market anymore. Yeah, altcoins did a lot. I did that with a bunch of altcoins that I mined. But yeah, so think about that. Just because you believe in the tech, it's not what you believe or what you feel. It's what the market deems as the master in that area, and it will show you that via price. So now the data is, oh god, watch out, one more step and it is free fall mode. All right, let's go to the light cone. Where is it? There it is. Same thing, looks just like Ethereum. Same shit, different day. Broken out of this channel that was very, very right, you know. And someone that trades a lot, you know, we were keeping this on here, and I was keeping this on here to see if this would be formidable resistance. But you know what now? Looking back on that, dumb idea, right? It broke it 3 consecutive days, and then even this one, and went side, you know, yeah, that's it. It's done. Race it. Getting it out of there. All right? So more appropriately would actually be this channel now. We could kind of do it like that, right? Semi. Broke out of it a little bit. If you want to be a little more fair, we can do something. Oh man, with log, it's so funny. You kind of have to draw them just straight on with the log because how the scaling is. So there you go. Gnarly, gnarly channel. Don't look very good, does it? No. So let's just see. We are way below. There's nothing yet telling us, hey, besides probably some of that divergence we're seeing everywhere. Nah, Litecoin doesn't even have it. But wow, look at that volume. So that's good. I like to see that because that means it's either going to be some capitulation if buy volume follows through with this, and this is true with any of these coins right now that are selling off a lot because we are seeing massive volume. So that doesn't mean that it's all just sellers. There could be some buyers in there, but to confirm that, you do need the move to push back very quickly, like within the next couple of days. Not saying that's going to happen. I'm not sure. This does look a little bit rough, so do be careful out there. Let's look at XEM because we were talking about it. New economy movement earlier with that article. Let's go to the Bittrex. Look at that. It's kind of just chilling about where we've been talking about it here in this whole area. So not really doing anything. Again, my thoughts on XEM are becoming a lot more positive as I'm finding more countries are interested in their tech. So there might be something to that. I'm not sure. I'm going to research it more. And of course, I will share some of those findings with y'all if I do. Or actually, more so, when I do. So also remember the Petro thing too. This is a really interesting position too in this area that the market just is dumping, and this coin is down nothing. This is nothing. This is like 40 Satoshis, guys. This is absolutely irrelevant. Y'all really want to know the percentage? Peak to trough. Oh my gosh. It's 3%. Ugh, it's crazy. Get out. Sell it all. But yeah, XCM probably doesn't look as great on a dollar pair, would be my guess. Yeah, there you go. So dollar pair dumped a little bit, but not on the Bitcoin pair. So let's look at that on a little bit farther. Still in this range, right? Even closer to the bottom of it. You know. XCM. Is it the saver? Is it the new Bitcoin? Will it be the one that makes the flipping? Nah, probably not. Probably not. Just kidding. That's not going to happen. So, let's see here. I think that might be about it. I think I'm just going to wrap it up there, guys, since I am seeing some more frame issues. Hopefully this one wasn't too much of a waste of my time because of that. But if it was, I will re-stream it later. I am going to a crypto meetup tonight to see the sentiment in the markets. I love to go when the market starts selling off a little bit to see how people are acting. So I'll let y'all know how that is. Maybe later tonight I might jump back on. But if not, for sure in tomorrow's stream. So, final thoughts on the Bitcoin before we sign off. Same thing, pretty much nothing different than what we talked about. We did close below 68, so that does put us in bearish mode. Oh, there you go. Look at that. As I'm doing this podcast, we just sold off another 80 bucks. So it is in full effect, ladies and gentlemen. Do be very careful here, okay? All right, guys. Wow. 50 bucks. Look at this. Look at this. All right, I'm not going to sign off just quite yet, so you can just look at this, what's happening. What? I don't even put it on the 1 minute. I never look at the 1 minute, but look at these moves, guys. Pow! It literally, while I was finishing a few sentences here and wrapping up, it just dumped 100 bucks. So, they are powerful at the moment. The bears are showing their teeth. All right, guys. Good luck trading out there. Let's see if this can continue or if this will be some good capitulation sell volume. Only time will tell. Do not hope. You can hodl all you want, but I don't know. Hoping and hodling. It's a fine line. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the likes, hit that bell, sub, all those good things. Again, this is your host, Z-Rex, with No Noiz Research. My windows are still latched. We'll see y'all guys tomorrow. Peace.